Hey, a great Wednesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas, and I'm on time, and it's a good thing to be on time. And I say that because I'm on time. I almost didn't make it on time. I'm still struggling with the light issues here at the studio, and I'm struggling because I've sort of overgrown. And and this microphone issue has is a problem. Can y'all hear me now? There. Is that better? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm going to guess that you can hear me. Out of the individuals that are on here, I'm not getting any response. But I'm going to guess that you can hear. And technical difficulties this morning, despite the fact that I was here right on time. Uh, it is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas. Supposedly, there's a cold front coming in later on today. We'll see if that actually happens. Hola, hola, Laura, buenos días, buenos días. So, sí me escuchan, ¿verdad? Espero que sí. Porque estaba teniendo problemas con el micrófono esta mañana. Um, Supposedly, we're getting a cold front tonight. We'll see what happens. Not sure. See. Gracias. Finally, someone responded. Let me say, guys, I actually sent the link out uh, to Frankie, and Frankie was supposed to be on this morning, so we'll see if he pops up all of a sudden. Also, got a phone call from Katy Presas. Katy Presas has already announced on the Captain Bob show that she is going to be a candidate for District Two. So it's going to be interesting for that race in District Two because we have an individual. Good morning. Good morning. Good. It's going to be an interesting race in District Two because we do have an individual out there uh, with someone who is part of their little clique, someone that is part of those boards and committees, the BCIC board, and all that little group. And we have someone who actually has had boots to the ground, has already had the experience of serving our community uh, as an elected official, and someone who is ready to kick butt, take names. So I'm glad Kathy Presas is in that race. The absence of respect and courtesy was in full display at last night's State of the Union address. As much as we disagree with the president's policies, does not entitle one to be disrespectful to the office held. Yeah, I think part of I understand, and I'm not sure if Judge Cascos is referring to uh, the back and forth when the president of the United States went out there and said, "Hey, Republicans want to cut Medicaid and Social Security, Medicare and Social Security," and it, raised the hairs in the backs of the heads of the necks of a lot of the individuals who he was calling out. I think my only concern with the president, and a lot of people said that the speechwriters were trying to bait the Republicans. Part of the is, the State of the Union address, I think, should be focused on trying to unite uh, the country as much as is possible, despite the fact that a lot of the stuff that was mentioned last night during the State of the Union was kind of on the bogus side. It's a little bit disconnected with what a lot of individuals are living with on a daily basis. For a president to come out and tout that the economy is doing great, whilst many individuals are not feeling that greatness, while many individuals are finding it very hard to afford eggs and utilities and rent and mortgages. It just hurts. So I can see it both ways. I want someone to call out the president on his bullcrap, uh, and but with that said, I agree. There should have been a little bit more decorum. I think one of the things that McCarthy was trying to do, and I saw this I think a couple of times, was he was trying to uh, shush the majority inside the House of Representatives. Politics, gotta love it. But let me say, I like Sarah Huckabee. Uh, she just she seems like the type of individual that you could have a sit down conversation with, and you're not going to get a lot of malarkey, a lot of corn pop, uh, a lot of uh, a lot of back and forth rhetoric that is typical from a lot of these folks. So I kind of enjoyed her take on this is a time for a newer generation of conservative individuals to come to the aid of their country. I think one of the things that I would agree with what Sarah said more than anything else is that we need this at all levels of governance, not only at the higher upper levels in Congress or in gubernatorial seats. We also need them at the local level, and I think that's one of the things that the Republican Party, has neglected to do. They've not focused on winning the small little races. They think that they need only go after the big races, and at the end of the day, a lot of small races should give you a lot of other bigger races. But party politics, it is what it is. Um, Last night, I mentioned we did cut the show short last night, and we cut it short because of the State of the Union. I wanted to, continue watching it and wanted to let a lot of folk watch it. There was not a lot of people on last night, so I thought it was a good opportunity to cut it short. Say we're here, we're going to focus on the State of the Union address, and then go back into local politics. Again, it was what it was. But in regards to local politics, last night we did have a city commissioner meeting, and let me say, it was a heated one. We did have some protesters out there, some individuals that were demanding that the city commission, the city of Brownsville, drop the charges against Becca Hinojosa. More power to them, guys. Uh, Part of the problem with Becca Hinojosa's people is uh, sometimes they don't have a grasp of reality, and they don't understand that a lot of times you need to mend fences. A lot of times you need to come together with a lot of the individuals in the community who are in this matter on your side. I had some of them, I agree with some of the stuff that was being mentioned yesterday by a lot of these folks, and I understand their angst and their frustration. But to demand that charges be taken completely away from an individual just because that they are out there uh, fighting for the environment is crazy. There was a crime committed. Someone tagged a wall that belongs to the city of Brownsville, which the citizens of Brownsville ultimately paid for. There was a crime that was committed. For them to arrest Becca, I'm going to think that they have her on video. So she should be charged with a Class B misdemeanor if she did the crime. It's just that simple, folks. You can't argue against that. But to go out, what Chris is saying is true. To go out there and say, well, remove the charges just because she's Becca is the same thing that individuals were out there saying in regards to John Brusiak. Don't charge him because he's John Brusiak. He's been out there for 40 years. Can't do that. A crime was committed. Good 10 minutes late, Mr. Frankie.
Hey, good morning, Erasmo. Thank you for having me on. I do apologize. I did have someone call in, so I did have to take that phone call. But good morning to you and to everyone else out there.
What is trippy to me. Morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
What's trippy to me is that I haven't had anyone in the morning for so long that I forget to put on the speakers. But Frank, did you have a chance to see last night's meeting, city meeting?
I I saw bits and pieces of it. I did hear and read leading up to yesterday afternoon of the protest demonstration that was going to be held. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe I did see Mayor Mendez there. I could be wrong.
He was on live.
Virtual.
Yeah.
Regarding Becca, um, I'm all about activism. I'm all about civil protest, speaking your mind. I like individuals who go against the grain, who stand up for what they believe in. When this ordeal happened, and this made national news at Osmo. When this ordeal happened, um, I don't want to say I was happy because it is bad to for a crime to be committed and for you to find some sort of gratitude, but this was her way of saying, hey, F you, SpaceX, F you to this elites that are trying to take over and gentrify and throw out the poor from what is South Texas Brownsville. So when it happened at Osmo, I was like, hell yeah, like somebody stood up. Again, I'm on the fence about the whole SpaceX thing. It's a good, it's a bad. I am polarized by the issue. What yesterday showed at Osmo was an individual who is giving the message that if you commit a crime, as long as you get 1,700 signatures, it's okay for the district attorney to drop your
Drop it.
charges. Uh, I like, and this might sound very wrong. And I do apologize before. No, I don't. I don't apologize. But I like martyrs at Osmo. I like someone that dies on their sword for what they believe in. What you do. You have your guests, Susan, Kayla, Carlos. What y'all do is very, very difficult because you put a name to your face and you're saying, "Hey, I'm challenging the establishment. I'm challenging the compadrizos system." So whenever it comes out, when someone comes out of the blue and does something like this, it's like a big, throwing the finger to the establishment, and I'm all about that. What I didn't like about this at Osmo was that she was copying out of it. She was using a different route. I would have supported her 10 times more if she would have said, yeah, I did it, and what type of mentality. And look, it's wrong. I'm not justifying what she did. I'm personally not a tagger. I wouldn't have chosen that route. But I believe you said it, someone needs to pay. And if she did it, well, she needs to say, you know what, I did it, and let's move on. Let's
Yeah.
move forward. I,
100%.
I would respect her a lot, and not that I don't respect her. It's just that you can't have your cake and eat it too, Erasmo. You can't say, oh well, I want to bash the politicos, but I don't. But don't attack me. Don't go after me. No, this is the world we live in, unfortunately. So for her to do
100%.
that, it kind of she's copying out and saying, oh, forgive me because I have all these signatures. It doesn't. Life doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Emma, 100%. But that money, the money was for the citizens of Brownsville. That's what I'm referring to. It was our money that the mayor and the city commissioners, which include John Cow and Jessica Tetreault, decided to put a fugly Pepto wall that does not represent Brownsville, that's on them. But it is our money. It's our money that was given to us by the Musk Foundation. 100%. It is our money. You see, and that's one of the things that a lot of times, Emma, they try to fool people of Brownsville by saying, well, we're getting it for free. Nothing comes for free. So because the money's coming from a private industry, or if it's coming from federal grants or from state grants, it's still your money, Emma. It's yours. It's for you. It isn't for them, and that's the difference. And I'm going to get to your comments before you leave. And it's alleged, Bessie, 100%. I'm not saying she's guilty. What I'm saying is she needs to go through the process. Now, with that said, was there abuse of power? Was there political oppression? Yes, maybe. But that's alleged. That's her statement. Again, should the mayor go through the process as well? Yes, of course, 100%. We've said this, Emma. I mean, I've been very, very open about it. Again, I understand what she did. You know, I even wore a shirt. I made shirts with her scribbles on it in support of the message in regards to gentrification. I did. I was the only one to do that. My issue with these individuals is that they don't know how to fight, Emma. They don't. They think that if they get together in their own little segregated group, they're going to be fine. It's not the way it works. There's too many against us. The problem I feel is when they start dissing an Erasmo Castro who's trying to help them promote their message. Yesterday, I mean, a couple of these people that were dressed in green looked at me like if I was the enemy. I'm not the enemy. I was the one that basically put her up there in front of everything and called out the mayor for posting her mugshot. I was the one that reached out to her. So we're not the enemy. Don't make us the enemy. There's a mutual enemy, and that's everything that is destroying Brownsville for Brownsville. And I agree that with this leadership, Emma, with Jessica Tetreault, with John Cowan, with Trey Mendez, this current leadership, we don't have a seat at the table. We've said this. I've said this multiple times. We don't have a seat at the table because at the end of the day, Emma, Jessica Tetreault, John Cowan, Trey Mendez, they're going to fight for what puts money into their pocket, into their compadre's pocket. So to hell with the environment, to hell with what is in the best interest of Brownsville, because we don't have a seat at the table to have these dialogues with LNG or SpaceX, because they've sold us out. But an individual who will give you a voice at the table, you frown upon. They frown upon. This little Becca group frowns upon. Bitches, Erasmo Castro is your champion. But I'm going to applaud everything that you do that is in the best interest of the community. And I'm going to call you out if you think that anyone who did this crime, even if it's a Class B misdemeanor, deserves a pass. And I've been down the route of Class B misdemeanors. You've got to pay the price for anything that you do, anything that is against the law. Good morning. Good morning. It's coming, Frankie. Be patient and mark my words. The attention will be loud. Support what is right.
Do you think that's one of many reasons why Mayor Mendez decided not to run?
One of the things that I think, Frankie, is that there's a lot of investigation coming in regards for the feds, from state, not from local. I think there's a lot of investigations because of the mishandling of a lot of the funds out there, Frankie. I think they screwed up the whole vaccine thing. I mean, we lived through it. They mishandled the freeze, and they mega mishandled Tenesca and all the other monies that they've stolen. Again, I've gone out there and I've said, I will take you to the sports park, and I want you to show me $58 million. You know, I'll, I'll go with anyone out there, Frankie, and I want someone to show me $58 million. I'll take anyone downtown. I mean, I'm here 3 blocks away. We could walk downtown, guys, and I challenge anyone to show me $10 million of improvements. Frankie, I'll walk with you a block and a half from my office, and I'll show you a parking garage that's used to shelter illegal aliens, individuals that are here illegally, that are in the process. And now, I don't know if you saw, but there's videos out there of individuals that have, from emergency management, that have tried to make a buck out of these illegals. The same thing that the Politiquera Church over there in West Brownsville is doing. They're making a buck. They're making a killing. Everyone that is a part of that corrupt political machine go out there and make a killing. I saw a picture with Trey Mendez, Adela Garza, La Rata, and that del Pastores from the West Brownsville Church. They're making a killing. We know Trey Mendez tried to take $200,000 from BCIC, and God only knows how much more money. We know Adela Garza with Sunshine Solutions was in bed with Sylvia Atkinson to take money from the school district and other districts out there. And we know that this pastor, Taco de Pastor, from West Brownsville, Iglesia Bautista Rata, they're making a killing from housing illegals. It's just money, 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 money. And it all gets funneled to wherever they want to send it to. That's part of the problem. Look, I'm all for making a buck, but let everyone have a shot at making the same buck, Frankie. And they don't. They use their political connections in order to pocket the money that should be going to the best resource out there. That's what pisses me off.
And that's been going on for quite a while now. And you posted earlier Juan Montoya's story regarding GBIC and how there was another $200,000 or $250,000 being dished out to AI software, and John Cowan has seems to always have his hand or
Always.
fingerprints on these types of dealings. It just goes to show you, Erasmo, that those people are all about making a buck. And I don't want to, bring this to light or throw shade at them because you're running. But when you really look at the big picture, John Cowan, for commissioner, spend over six figures, $100,000 easily for a position that pays zero. What we have seen throughout his time at Osmo is that he was part of the housing authority, has his foot in and out. And now he's a part of GBIC, where he has all this information privy to him. Now, as a mayor, he's going to dish out easily $200,000 at Osmo for this position that, as of right now, pays zero. There is a motion to pay the. It just goes to show you, Erasmo, that it's not about public service. It's more about how can I get rich with this position? How can I enrich my friends? You talked about it very good. You see, these people see an opportunity here to make a killing. This is a humanitarian issue that we're dealing with. Living in South Texas border, we have this constant flow at Asmo of immigrants, people in need, and the churches, instead of them helping, as the Bible said, provide shelter, give food to others, they're making a profit out of this. This goes to show that the priorities isn't to fix the streets. It isn't to make sure that we're ready for another freeze. You were talking about the sports park, the 50, $60 million. And you're right. Maybe we can justify maybe five because land is somewhat expensive. Special shouts out goes to Cascade Park. Um, I went this past weekend. It is the Ernesto Gomez Jr. Park. Erasmo, let me tell you, it is a beautiful facility. Lots of benches, lots of areas where you can take the family. When I was there was three or four families, two or three families, barbecuing out there. This is the first time I've ever been there. I fell in love with it. That's something that the city, the area, the community is gonna benefit from for hundreds of years. I just had to throw that out there because when you compare that to the sports park at Asmo, it's what Mr. Gomez did on his land. We could have done with the city being very, very resourceful. This election at Asmo is going to be very, very important because you have individuals that are only seeking uh, 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 to self enrich themselves. So we need to keep on sending the message of what these individuals have done. And one of your big platforms has been get rid of GBIC, get rid of these
100%.
entities that are Erasmo. All they're doing is giving checks to their friends, to these people, and that is affecting the overall layout of the city of Brownsville. Erasmo, what happened to those bus shelters that you were screaming about for over 6 months? Where are they?
They're not there.
What about Boca Chica? That is a flood zone. What about our streets? Our
Nothing.
priorities are all jacked up at Osmo, and it all starts with these individuals profiting out of projects.
Well, Frankie, they want to go out there. I mean, this is one of John Cowan's babies. Okay, no, okay, an industrial park. Really? Another industrial park? An industrial park over there that serves is going to serve the Port of Brownsville. And look, I'm all for if the Port of Brownsville is doing that well and doing amazingly well, then yeah, let's go for it. But the Cowans, they work out of the Port of Brownsville. They're custom brokers, gasoline, everything. So it benefits them. And that's what really trips me out. Now, how many of their friends are all involved in all this crap? It all benefits them. And that's the issue. Why can't we get stuff that actually benefits the city of Brownsville as a whole right now? We're getting nothing. Look, one of the things that Ralph Cowan ran on at the Port of Brownsville and everybody else out there was the steel mill. Oh, the steel mill's coming. No, hombre, cállate. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. Steel mill. Remember that, Frankie? Where's the steel mill? Right after the election, they go, no, they dijeron que siempre no. It's not going to happen. You're going like, why do the people of Brownsville continue to fall for this crap over and over and over again? Gentrification is not the problem. Well, I'm going to disagree. It is part of the problem. Fraud is the problem. Yes. It's half a year has passed and no one from Tenasca Management Consultants has been indicted. Yes. Yet. No one, Frankie, has paid the price. No one. And we know for a fact that there was fraud, there was theft, there was deception, there was greasing of the wheels. Jessica Tetro got her part. John Cowan got his part. All the commissioners got their little part. We already know this. Nothing. No one has had not even a slap on the wrist. Because if you want to mention Brusiak, the guy left with a golden parachute, had 2 months vacation, and now, Frankie, he's going to make probably twice as much as what he was making as the CEO by consulting for them. Probably twice as much. So, ¿le fue mal al vato? Of course not. Al que les fue mal fueron nosotros, al pueblo, every single one of us. And that's the issue. Hello, Nelda. Nelda.
It's going to be interesting whenever you get on that stage and debate your other, the other candidates. What's going to be their stance regarding PUB? What can these incumbents, Commissioner Cowan and Commissioner Tetro, what can they assure the community? That I'm going to fight for you in regards to PUB, that I'm going to vouch for you and I'm going to give you all your money, that I'm going to break up PUB. They didn't do that while they were in office. What makes us think that they're going to do it if we give them 4-8 years? This election is very very important, and I know we say that every election, but when you really get down to the nitty gritty of this all, Erasmo, nothing's going to change. If we maintain these same individuals, we're still going to have no repercussions. We're still going to have no answers from PUB to NASCA. Don't you think it's weird that they stole over $100 million and they're just trying to put lipstick on the pig and say, "Oh, we only owe you 11 or 19 or 40 at the most." And again, if it was you or I, Erasmo, if we stole $100, best believe that we would get paraded. We would, and for these individuals to have no fault and just to wash their hands, it really is a disgrace and a black eye to the citizens, to this community. Again, we are one of the poorest and least educated, and now we're being taken advantage from. Something has to give. It sucks. It really sucks, Erasmo, whenever you think your elected leaders are fighting for you or vouching for you or trying to get those, ask those tough questions. But in reality, all they're doing is masking or hiding or trying to protect their friends. I did have faith at the very beginning for the CSR committee that they're going to create mumbo jumbo. It's going nowhere. I told you, I told those individuals that were considering running, the only way we can really, really bring about effective change is to elect Erasmo Castro, is to elect Susan Rubalcaba, individuals that are going to ask those tough questions. Because if we elect the same individuals, we're still going to get crappy old Brownsville.
Yeah. PUB commission boards were negligent and allowed the Tenasca scam. 100%. Guys, I am amazed. Look, and again, and I got some crap last time I said this. Mayor Mendez probably was the smartest one of the bunch, Frankie. He decided to say, ¿sabes qué? Ahí te guacho. Step down. I'm out of this. But you got Jessica Tetreault and John Cowan. I mean, still wanting to be on the commission as mayor of the city of Brownsville? You think we're stupid? Are you out of your freaking mind? You put us in this mess. And what really pissed me off, Frankie, and let me tell you, yeah, I'm anxiously waiting for the forums. What really pissed me off is that John Cowan goes out there and his number one priority, PUB. Are you dumb? Are you an idiot? PUB giving the people their money back? The money that you took from us? The money that you allowed John Brusiak and management to pocket Eddie Trevino? That's your number one priority? All right, do you think we're stupid? So I'm furious, and I'm going to call him out on it. You put us in this mess. You, Jessica Tetreault, you are responsible for Tenasca. And now you want the people of Brownsville to make you mayor of the city of Brownsville? Are you stupid?
Erasmo, I'll never forget 4 years ago when John Cowan ran on the slate. I remember pictures of him kneeling down in front of some senoritas, from Las Colonias in Southmost. And I'm thinking, man, this guy is never going to see this damn people ever in his 4 years. Maybe he did. I don't know. How often does
Never.
Commissioner Cowan go to Las Prietas, to
Never.
Southmost, to Cameron
Nunca.
Park? When does he go to La Muralla? When does he go to La 421?
Never.
When does he ever step foot out there? Or is he in a glass palace, with the elite? And how is he going to go out and say that I'm going to fight for you, that I'm going to vouch for you, that I need your vote? Because look at my 4 years when I fought PUB and I asked those tough questions and I demanded answers. The people of Brownsville should know better. And by simply having a commissioner, a do-nothing commissioner regarding PUB, that should be an automatic automatic no vote.
Well, why hasn't the Port of Brownsville been deepened and widened for larger cargo? Are consultants and management busy looting? Look, guys, honestly, to the people of Brownsville, when is the last time that you got an update from the Port of Brownsville? Do you actually know what's going on at the Port of Brownsville? And look, I have friends on the Port Commission. they've done a piss poor job of being more vocal with the people of Brownsville. And part of the problem, folks, look, goes back to the Becca thing, to the Becca drop charges against Becca thing. They think, Port of Brownsville commissioners, they think that by informing their little group, they're doing their due diligence. Mission accomplished. It's not enough. You've got to reach my people, Frankie's people. Those are the individuals that you've got to. It's your responsibility. Because you may say, no, but Frankie's people, Erasmo people, a lot of them don't vote. A lot of them are residents. A lot of them are here illegally. They can't vote. And to you, it may not be important. For you, it may not be important. But you're there to represent everyone in the city of Brownsville. Everyone. The ones that can vote and the ones that can't vote. It's just that simple. But we have gotten no word from the county commissioners, no word from the Port of Brownsville commission, Port of Brownsville trustees, whatever the hell they're called. No word from TSC trustees. Nothing. Because they think that they post a picture on their social media page where nobody watches anyway, that they've done their job. It's not enough. Will there be debates? Oh, yeah. There better be. Because I'm going to each and every one of them. Since Musk puts money in their pockets, they do his bidding. If they would have defaced the mural of Erasmo, they would have said there were no laws broken. That they would have probably been part of the buying the paint for that. I'm sure there will be debates. Which candidate participates is a better question. Let me say, it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping that they show up because I'm going to let them have it. And I'm also going to let the Police Officers Association have it. I'm telling you as of now, because we are going to have that debate. And you better believe that you're going to hear from me, especially the Police Officers Association. And I say that because, Frankie, I don't know if you've been talking to individuals from Brownsville PD, people that work there. They're getting screwed. Understaffed, undertrained, don't have the resources. Insurance is going to crap. People that are retired, Frankie, with insurance are going to lose it. Their retirement monies are in the hands of the Limas. You're screwed, guys. Screwed. They made a killing. The Limas, the ones that are supporting John Cowan, Jessica Tetreault. These people have made a killing. They're still on the city tit. They become millionaires, guys. And you, as police officers, you got screwed. But guess who told you 4 years ago? Guess who told you that you were getting screwed by these people? And you, and not all the police officers, the people in that association, they endorsed the same crap that put them in this mess. Endorsed. Frankie, they didn't only endorse them, Frankie. They gave them $1,000. $1,000. You know? Es como que, here's $1,000, screw me. And screw everybody else that we're supposed to be representing. That's why the Police Officers Association got screwed. So this time around, you better believe when we have that forum, guys, you're going to hear from Erasmo Castro. And I'm going to call them out. In front of your face, I'm going to call out John Cowan and Jessica Tetreault. One of the two you're probably going to endorse. I don't care. Visalia, Cal, least educated city, U.S. Brownsville, Texas, was number 149. I thought we were number 4. Castro, your first race was running for mayor, and now after 10 races, this is your last race and running for mayor. What will you do different this time than last time? When I ran it was 8 years ago that I ran for mayor of the city of Brownsville. I actually thought it was 12, but it was really 8.
What
Time
were the
flies.
issues back? What were the issues back then? That was
Say
like,
what?
gee.
The same issues for the police officers, insurance, understaffed, their hours, same issues. But it's a fair question. What will I do differently this year than I did 8 years ago? I plan to do a lot more block walking. I am more knowledgeable in regards to running campaigns, Frank. Let me tell you, 10 races, they educate you. And one of the things that I hope that people understand is you run a race, and even when you lose a race, you learn from it. You should learn from it. So I would say that this time around, Frank, I've got 10 experiences that I have learned from, which I plan to implement in this coming race. So I don't see it as I know a lot of individuals. I'll say, well, you lost. You lose if you choose to lose. There's always something to gain. There's always something to win, even from a loss. And I gain knowledge and experience. So for me, they've been wins. And I'm still here. I'm still viable. And I'm still a threat to the corrupt political machine that continues to pocket the resources. And Frank and you and I have had this conversation, Frank. And I hope that you read the Tanasca audit. And if you haven't, send me an inbox and I'll send you the audit. You need to read that because everything that I have been mentioning for the past 8 years, since I decided to run for mayor of the city of Brownsville, everything is in that report. So Sylvia didn't only prove me right. John Cowan and Jessica Detrow proved me right by producing this audit. Did they drop the charges against Rebecca? No. And they shouldn't, because they may be alleged charges because she needs to have her day in court. A crime was committed. Someone has to pay for that crime. Doesn't matter if you get 1,500 signatures on a petition. And again, I understand a lot of people were excited. There weren't 1,700 petitions. There were 1,700 signatures, and I think that's great. I would dare say that a lot of those were not from Brownsville.
Yeah, they're really trying. They're really trying to amplify Mayor Mendez's role in the arrest. So what they're trying to do at Erasmo is they're trying to say, "Oh, she needs to be, her case needs to be dismissed because there was retaliation, there was an abuse of power." But it doesn't change the fact, that somebody did spray paint and cause damage to city property. That city employees had to go and retouch up that, or an artist had to retouch up that wall. Again, I like her. I like what she did. I just don't like that she's trying to cop out of this.
Yeah, as Frankie mentioned, fall on your sword, girl. Fall on the sword. Admit if you did it, take it. Take the Class B misdemeanor. Get it removed from your record if you want. But someone tagged that wall. Someone needs to pay for it. It's just that simple. Now, does that justify what the mayor did? Of course not. I called it out. I was the first one to call him out. Because something that was mentioned yesterday is very, very true. The mayor never went out there and posted that kid. What's the guy's name? The pedophile, the porn kid, Mostat.
Mostat?
The mayor never went out there and posted Mostat's mugshot on his page. And that guy came in contact with our children at the city's facility, at the Child's Museum. John Cowan didn't say anything. Jessica Tetro didn't say anything. They didn't. The only ones that were fighting for answers were us here, demanding that they tell us what the hell's going on. It took them a month, Frankie, a month for them to even put out a statement. A month. And this kid had videos, Frankie, of 3-month-olds, 6-month-old.
Crazy.
Sexual assault on a 3-month-old, 6-month-old. Not a peep.
That case is very weird. Like, again, if it was you or I,
No,
we would get the book thrown at us. We would definitely not get bail. This guy got, he was bonded out for a few months, chilling, hanging out. I'm like, damn, this guy got off easy. Like,
Frankie,
for the
Frank, I would have been on the Herald every day. They would have probably put out a new edition of the Herald just to cover the story. You know how they used to put that insert in the Sunday paper? Antes? They would have gone the Erasmo story. I would have been on channel 4, 5, 23, the Metamoros news every day, multiple times a day. This guy got nothing for a whole month. And this guy had videos of 3-month-old, 6-month-old guy. This guy was working at the Children's Museum of Brownsville with children. The mayor said nothing. Jessica Tetro said nothing. John Cowan said nothing, guys. To this day, Frankie, do you know if John Cowan or Jessica Tetro have said anything on the case? Nothing.
Their silence, and I'm saying this as a commission. The commission's silence on this for a while was spoke volumes, so to speak. We understand that it's a very delicate issue. What I think that they're trying to do, obviously, was damage control and trying to distance themselves to avoid any potential liability with lawsuits and whatnot. Again, I hate to be the bearer of of bad news, but this commission, they can never get nothing right. They can't get our streets right. They can't help us during a freeze. COVID, was poorly handled. Again, can you properly be prepared for COVID? No, and especially with this David Molstad situation, it just goes to show you that there is no real leadership. That everyone's just focused on how can I make a buck. You mentioned earlier how the smartest mayor, Pat Almada, what he did, and I hate to bring up somebody's flaws, but he wasn't very bright in depositing that check. Mayor Mendes, on the other hand, is smart, and maybe because he's an attorney, but he found ways to get rich while being a mayor, and his prize isn't just going to end once he's done as a mayor, because his restaurant and his establishments are going to flourish and he's not going to pay taxes, and he had all these roads fixed, which upped in value his property. Going into it, I really liked Mayor Mendes' story. I've said it previously on my show. I liked his story. Porter, UT, TSC, mayor of Brownsville. Like, this guy was raza. He knew. He went to the most prestigious school, came back and did his thing. But unfortunately, the only thing that he learned was from his predecessor, Tony Martinez, and how to make that almighty dollar. We need to elect individuals that are really going to fight for us. Do we want another do nothing commission, or do we want those individuals that are really going to speak for the people? I think this race is very important at Erasmo right now. The two front runners that all the media and all the Herald is talking about is Cowan and Tetro. But when you really think about it, the citizens of Brownsville, we deserve better. I'm vouching for a Stanton Erasmo Nagy runoff. We know what we have with this current city commission, and I hate to say it, but we have nothing. They did not fight for us during the freeze. They did not fight for us during PUB. What makes us think that they're going to fight for us as mayor?
Nope. And I would like to be in a runoff with Nagy. Nagy's dropping out of the race.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That
But
was
again,
quick.
yeah. Let me say, and it's information that he shared with different other people, not only with myself. So I'm at liberty to share it. Other individuals have confirmed the same thing. And look, I was one of the individuals that encouraged Nagy to stay in the race. Please stay in the race. We need different individuals out there to call out this crap. It's a bunch of crap. And I appreciate his spunkiness and his desire to go out there and pinpoint a lot of the same things that Frankie was just mentioned in regards to the streets, in regards to the drainage, in regards to the situation that our infrastructure is in here in the city of Brownsville. And that's important. We don't have that. We haven't had that. 8 people asked the mayor for a statement and he didn't. It wasn't only 8 people, Ashley. I would say hundreds of people asked him and the commission. I mean, I went out there and I spoke with the board members, Children's Museum board members, and I say something. Give us something. Y'all have given us nothing. And they say, well, we're getting ready to prepare a statement. It's too late. A month, 6 weeks after the fact, it's too late. By then, we've already decimated the whole story. And that's what's unfortunate. Because as much as individuals go out there and say, well, that's what you don't have all the facts, we have the facts that we have. And we warned people about Mosat. We told people about Mosat because we had an individual, Lonnie, that was distributing child pornography videos of 3-month-olds, 6-month-old in sexual acts here in the city of Brownsville. Worse, here at the Children's Museum, right in front of the zoo. And Jessica Tetreault, John Cowan, said nothing. And they have said nothing to this day, Frankie. Nothing. Nothing. The Mosat kid sounds like a sovereign. There's 2 types of laws, one for the ordinary folks and the other for the politicians and law enforcement. Frankie, that is so true. Is the city defending Pedro Neta? They haven't called him out. They did call out Becca. And that's the statement that I really appreciated last night at the meeting. Someone went out there and made mention. They went after Becca for tagging a wall, an ugly wall, the Pepto wall. Still a crime. They said nothing about Mosat. And that's unfortunate. And they've said nothing about Mosat. So you better believe when we have our forums. And look, one of the things that people may say, Erasmo, you're giving them your whole plan. I want them to be prepared. I have nothing to hide. I want them to be prepared. So Jessica Tetreault, John Cowan, get ready to answer. Because I'm going to bring up your comments, your statements against Daniel Mosat, which have been none. Because he's in your clique. He's in that little clique of theirs. So as Tucker mentioned, they're going to protect their own. Whilst the children of Brownsville were placed in danger. Were placed in danger. So to all the orange ticket holders that take their kids to Children's Museum, think about it. Jessica Tetreault, John Cowan, they put your children in the hands of someone who was distributing videos of 3-month-old, 6-month-old getting raped. This is fact, Frankie. It's already been proven. It's not alleged, not supposition.
He pled guilty. You know.
Pled guilty. And the charges were very clear. 3-month old, 6-month old. Jessica Tetreault, John Cowan stood by, said nothing, while Mostat was holding your child de la mano. And hopefully, only de la mano.
Before we wrap things up shortly, Erasmo, I wanted to get your take on. We saw how the Tony people, Gonzalez went to Trey. Who do you think Trey's people is going to be supporting for commissioner? Is it John Cowan for
Yes.
mayor?
Yeah, 100%. I already know that that little slate, John Cowan, Linda Macias, Tino Villarreal, and Brian Martinez. They're running the slate. You know, they're all being backed by Commissioner de las Chanclas, by Ramiro Gonzalez, by Rose Gowan, all these folks. And what I find amazing is that they've kicked Nerith Galansky to the curb. That's interesting. I'm hoping to have conversations with Nerith Galansky. I've been very, very critical of her. You know, sometimes, Miss Galansky, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. And they've kicked her to the curb, Frankie, which is interesting.
Very quickly.
Yeah,
Very quickly.
very, very quickly. So I don't know, and this is what's intriguing, Frankie. I don't know if they kicked her to the curb because of Tenasca, because of PUB, or because of the property, the right of ways. So I don't know why exactly they've kicked her to the curb. I think if I know Galansky and I know her to be a fighter, especially at restaurants, but as a fighter, she's going to come out full force against these people, you know? So Miss Galansky might be an opportunity to see eye to eye on several issues. Again, I don't appreciate the fact of what she did while she was on the PUB board. But if you're asking me, do I want a Nerith Galansky or a Brian Martinez to be our next city commissioner, Frankie? Let me tell you, Nerith is looking a lot peachy keener every day.
Yeah.
And again, going to say that. And I don't dislike Brian Martinez. I just don't want someone on there that's going to be controlled. It's going to be a puppet. It's just that simple. I like Brian, man. I say hi to him every time. Always been respectful. I like Brian. I don't think I like him as a commissioner. I don't like him being on every single board and committee out there. I mean, they were doing proclamations yesterday, and he was up there on every single one of them because he's on every single board and committee out there. He just stayed there. Next proclamation, I'm just going to stand here because I'm on this one too. Charo Days, Leadership Brownsville, that pet thing, pet place, whatever the hell it's called, because they got a record for something. Rose Gowan was all wet about it, like, oh, we got a record. Shut up. Give us a damn record of being the most productive city. Give us a record of the best money being spent on the people. Get us a record of the best streets in the country. Get us those type of records. Oh, we had the Guinness World Record of people that called in wanting to get their pets microchipped. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? You know? And look, guys, nothing against the people that went out there and did all this. But come on. You know? Let's get records that really matter. The most educated city in the nation. something. But Frankie, to go back to your question, they're all going to flock for John. He's going to be their golden boy. Let me tell you, I plan to take that golden boy down a couple of notches because if there's one thing that they should know, and now that I am officially on the ballot, one thing they should know, I'm going after every single one of them. I'm going for the jugular. Those are kiddos, carnal. That's disgusting. Those are defended, should be held accountable as well. Yes. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Mochate, mochate.
Appreciate it, Tucker. Love you, Papa. What's up with Roman helping you with your election? Roman is going to run for District 1.
Oh, is he? Nice.
Yeah, Roman is going to run for District 1. And let me
Good
tell
for
you,
him.
yeah, Roman knows the issues.
Yeah.
What hurts Roman is Roman. But Roman sticks to the issues, sticks to the problems of Southmost, which he lives in, Roman should do well.
Yeah.
But he has to file. I already told him. He doesn't listen.
File Roman.
Doesn't take it. Look, Frankie, I told him, Roman, file now and start having people back you up, because right now we only got a choice between Brian and Nerth Golansky.
People are
And
aligning.
until Monday,
People are aligning.
yes, Roman, what Frankie is saying. Because let me tell you right now, as it sits right now, I'm liking Nerth all the more. And I hate saying that, but Frankie asked the question. I hate saying that. If later on someone jumps in, don't jump in at the last moment. Whoever's giving you that advice is screwing you over. Jump in now, declare now, file now.
When's the deadline?
17th or 18th.
17th, next Friday.
17th. Yeah, 17th.
17th.
File now, Roman. Now.
No.
Listen to me. You need folks to help you at Erasmo. Yes, 100%. And I'm hoping that happens, guys. And I'm going to run this race like I've run no other race before. I'm going to do the block walking. I know. I'm going to do a lot because of what Frank mentioned. I'm going to do a lot of things that I didn't get to do in the other races. I am. Brownsville has a lot of severe problems, and it's not Erasmo. Yes! Right of Ways, LLC, 100%, Mary. Mr. Frankie for commissioner. There's always county. Frankie, let's end it this morning. It's always good to have you because you're so knowledgeable about what's going on. And, you could make us go to an hour easily and think that it's been like 10 minutes.
Pues mochate con el YouTube fun.
No. And that's a compliment. And you know me very well. I don't tend to like to give compliments too much.
I'll step in every now and then. Sometimes I get busy in the mornings, just depending. But I could fill in every now and then in the mornings. In the afternoon, at night is kind of difficult for me. I don't do nothing, but I'd rather just be asleep. I'm an early bird. I wake up like at 5 a.m. I'm doing nothing, but I'm awake at 5.
We do the same, and we're still here at nighttime. But the nighttime we have a larger audience. So, but yeah, I understand, guys. Thanks for coming on, guys. Tomorrow we should have Katy Presas on tomorrow night.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, she's running for Tetros.
No, yeah, District 2 against
District 2, Macias.
Yeah. And that's going to be an interesting race because Macias is getting the backing of John Cowan and Jessica Tetro. I don't know why Jessica Tetro is out there pushing for Macias. Dumb, since Macias is out there in John Cowan's slate. So, Jessica, what are you doing? Don't get fooled by the the Linda Macias rhetoric. I'm not in a slate. Bull crap. Don't vote for people that have been boards, incumbents, or previous committees. 100%. Erasmo, you are the man. You are the man. Love you guys. Have a great day. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer, still bleeding, all that crap. Guys, be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.